Okay. Hello, everyone. It's Thursday today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new here, my name is Michelle Adamas. I'm the owner of Vintage Revival Design Co. in Northern Virginia. And if you're coming back, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And anyway, welcome to today's live. Today I've been working on some furniture projects, and I think one of the really fun things to do on a piece of furniture is to address the drawers, and especially the interior of the drawers. So before we get started, let me just welcome you. And if you are here, please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if it's your first time here. I'd love to know that. And so we are going to be working on these dresser drawers, and I wanted to just show you some examples of some ways that I like to finish the drawers. So one of the ways that I finish my interior drawers is with decoupage paper. So this is an example. This one was a secretary. Both of these actually are secretaries, and I used recycled decoupage papers on the interior of the drawers. Another way that I like to finish them is with stamping. And so these are examples of the drawer sides that I've done with stamps. One was done with paint, one was done with ink. And so this is just another way that you can do this. And then finally, I also like to stencil them. I don't have an example of that yet. Couldn't find one today for the slides, but here's an example of just using peel and stick wallpaper. And so I think it just gives a nice little, we call them a peekaboo drawer. And I think it just gives a nice finishing touch to the inside of the drawers. Peel and stick wallpaper in particular is terrific because it's easy to remove if someone wants to change it. Maybe they're going to change the color of the dresser. Olga, hello. Thank you so much for being here from Florida. I appreciate it. And so these are just examples of ways that we can refinish them. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up, let me see if I can get this. I'm going to pull up my drawer, and we're going to add that here. And today I'm going to show you how easy it is to apply the peel and stick wallpaper, how I size it, that type of thing. And then we're going to address these drawers in particular are very clean inside. And so there really wasn't much to do other than to clean them, but I do want to refresh the wood inside. And so I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I always do that last because I'm using an oil-based product. And if I were to get any, accidentally on the sides of my drawers, then the paper would no longer stick. So the first thing that we're going to do is, and this is the front of the drawer right here. This is a really, I have a tall boy and a long dresser that are part of a French provincial set. And so I've just chosen a neutral damask peel and stick wallpaper. I like to look for wallpaper that has the grids on the back because that makes it super easy to measure and cut. It just is so helpful. So what I like to do is leave a little extra on the end, and I cut my paper a little wider than I need for the drawer. I happen to know that this is the direction I need my pattern to go because I've done the other parts of the drawers. I'm just going to peel this back. And what I do need is my wallpaper tool, and I don't have that with me. So we're going to try to do this. I'm going to grab something. So you can, if you don't have the wallpaper tool, you're going to start it up with overlapping edges, and you're going to take this paper underneath and slowly pull it back. So since I don't have my wallpaper tool with me, that was the one thing I forgot. It's in the other room where I've been doing all the other drawers. I'm going to slowly smooth this out just to make sure I don't have any bubbles in my paper. So I'm just going to gently pull that paper just like that and go all the way to the edge, just like that. Okay. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to use a little pair of fussy cut scissors. I have a regular pair of scissors, which is what I cut the paper with. And then I have these little fussy cut paper scissors, and I have an X-Acto knife, or this is like a box cutter. So you want it to be super sharp. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use the edge of my drawer as a guide, and I'm going to make a little snip here. And then I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to make a little snip on the other side like this, using the edge of my drawer as a guide. And this is just going to help me cut the paper away from the drawer. So I'm going to just come in here, and I'm going to put a little cut in my paper, and using the side of the drawer as my guide, I'm going to put it at a slight angle. My blade is at a slight angle, and I'm going to trim that away. I'm going to do this on all sides, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim it up. So we're going to go ahead and do this part. So again, it's just, I've got a little slit there, and I'm going to put my blade at a slight angle, and using the drawer as a guide so that I get a straight cut. I'm going to come here, and we're going to have some trimming to do. And so we'll do this on this side as well. I'm going to have to turn it this way. Sorry I hope I'm not making you dizzy. And I'm going to take this, and again, on a slight angle, I'm going to trim that paper just like that. Okay. So now what I want to do is straighten up these edges. And so it's a lot easier once I have the excess out. I like to have a little bit of excess so that if I go a little crooked or go a little too far to the left or the right, I still have my drawer covered. So now what I'm doing is I've got my blade on its side, and it's right there at the edge, and I'm just trimming that up. And if I miss a little piece, I can trim that up with the straight line there. All right. And so we're going to do that on the other two sides, and then we're going to do the interior of the drawer. Let me know if you enjoy peekaboo drawers as much as I do, and what your favorite way of doing them. Do you prefer to stencil them? Do you prefer to stamp them, or do you like wallpaper also? I'm just going to do a straight, I need to go down with my blade and just pull off the excess. And I'm going to pull it off here as well. And so this is just a little kind of fussy trimming of this, just to make sure I don't want it sticking up over the edges of my drawer. So I'm going to trim that tightly. It's a little sticky. I've done a lot of these drawers. There are 9 drawers in one dresser and 6 in the other. So this has been a lot of trimming. And I've got a little bit right there. I'm going to just use my fussy cut scissors. So it's a good idea to have a couple of tools at your disposal for this. Okay, so now my drawer is lined on the outside on both sides. So let's address the inside. It's clean. There really isn't, much to it other than it is a little dry. And so let's see if I can turn it this way so that you can see a little bit better. So for this, I'm going to be using an oil-based product. I'm going to be using a Furniture Tonic by Wise Owl. The furniture salve comes in a liquid form, which is the tonic, and it also comes in a more solid form. It comes in a tin. And so you can use either. I just have the liquid one available to me. And I'm putting on my gloves because it is an oil-based product. It's very nice for your skin, but it can also, I don't want any residue because I'm still working on some of the furniture pieces, and I want to make sure that I don't get oil on them, because it will act as a resist. So I have a microfiber cloth, and I'm going to put just a little bit on here, and I'm going to put that in my cloth like this. And then we're just going to go in a circular motion This one happens to be bergamot lime, and it also comes in an unscented, but I want to show you how I just add a little bit at a time, but you can see it's just going to freshen up the drawers, and it really, really makes such a nice difference. If you have scratches, it's going to either hide them completely or just make them less noticeable. So I'm just cleaning up. So this cleans even more than I have cleaned and refreshes the drawers. And it has a nice scent that will dissipate. So the furniture salve and the tonic both are great. If you have smelly drawers, you can wipe the insides with this tonic or the furniture salve and let it sit, and then you're going to buff out any extra, and it usually gets rid of any kind of odors that you may have. So it also works on leather and that type of thing. If I need to get into a corner with this, because this is a rag, I will often just have a little bit on here and put it in a putty knife and run it along the sides like this, just so I can get into the corners and make those really nice too. So I'm going to let this soak into my drawer, and then I'm going to buff out any excess. I've got a little bit more on this side that I want to do. So I'm going to do that, and it really just freshens it up. So these drawers were really in good condition, which is pretty unusual, because if they weren't, what I do is if they have a lot of stains or anything like that, then what I like to do is go ahead and sand them with my sander. And then I will clean out that dust and then go from there and finish that off. So I'm just going to do this back bit a little bit. And that's it. And so now we've got our cover drawers, and they're fresh and clean inside. This was a really quick little live, but I am in the middle of doing all kinds of furniture projects right now. And so I just thought I would bring you along for this process. I'd love to know how you like to finish your drawers, what tips and tricks you have. So I use the salve for refreshing wood, minimizing scratches, and to get out any smelly odors or anything like that. And it just really gives that wood just a fresh, just like a drink of water, or something like that. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back next week, and we'll have another live. I appreciate you so much. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer. All right, everybody, take care. And Olga, thanks again for joining. I really appreciate it. All right, bye-bye, everybody. Take care.